Withers is definitely the most useful companion that you could get in this game, but he has to be unlocked to be able to get him to show up in your camp. He's not a standard companion, he doesn't join you in adventures, he's instead a very powerful kind of lich type creature.
Correct.
We're not entirely sure at this point, but he is a powerful ally that is able to bring allies back from the dead, recruit hirelings so you can change your party around and have all sorts of different classes, and allow you to change your class and spec in case you want to switch things up and you don't like how things are going. The thing you need to know about Withers is that everything is just
a matter of coin.
So let's go into the fastest way to get Withers into your camp. So down the starting path, you can go along the riverside and you come across this locked door. This is the entrance into the Overgrown Ruins. The Overgrown Ruins is Withers' lair, and you need to be able to get into here to be able to get him. So to open this door, you're either going to need a key or you're going to need to lockpick it. So first you're going to have to find some lockpicking tools, and then you're going to have to try and disarm the door. The door itself has a pretty high DC to be able to unlock, and it's going to take you a couple of tries. Chances are you're not going to have very many lockpicks, so you could just, cheese the game by doing quick saves and stuff like that, but I don't agree with that. I would much rather do it a different way, and it's probably smarter to instead make sure you have a full party, as well as to clear out the rest of the ruins before you enter this part, so we can go around and do the whole other entry into the ruins. If you do enter through this door and decide to lockpick it, there is this room that is just absolutely bustling with traps and has a big sarcophagus in the middle. If you open the sarcophagus, this happens. I would definitely recommend not doing that, as that is an absolute nightmare. All right, so let's go into the other way to get into the ruins. So if we go around the roadside cliffs and go around the north side of this entrance, you come across on top of the ruins instead of on the bottom. And you're going to find this group of bandits or something, and they're bickering over what to do about the crashed ship. There's multiple different ways to interact with this party to be able to get past them. You can just choose your way if you're going to be aggressive with them, if you're going to try and help them, all those kinds of things to be able to just clear them out and get rid of them before you're able to move forward. From there, you need to trick their guy on the other side of the door to let you in. You're going to have to give him some reason to let you in, or you're going to have to just break the door down and attack him. The crypt is going to be full of bandits. You're going to be moving through, and they're not going to really want you to be in there because they want to get the treasures themselves. They're not too hard of fights, but if you don't really know what you're doing, this is the first encounter you're going to have that's actually going to have some difficulty in this game. At this point, you're actually going to have to be dealing with enemy spells and line of sight and all sorts of things that you haven't really had to deal with up until this point. The trick of this next part is to make sure that your characters are going to be able to pass a perception check. So he's going to be able to go in and likely find this switch. If you have a couple of failures, hopefully you can rotate through your party members to go through until you successfully find the switch. And once you do, you're able to flick it, and that will open up the gate. Now, if all of your characters fail at this, then you're going to have to go the route of picking the lock that we talked about earlier. Once you've opened this up, you're going to enter into this room. It's a T-shaped room, and this is the same side if we came in through the other gate. So if we walk through the tomb room, we come through this right side, and we are in that same room. In this T-shaped room, there is a chest that's going to have 3 scrolls of protection from good and evil. My recommendation is to give these to your party members that are not Shadowheart, and then to have each of them cast that spell on themselves using the spell scroll, which is going to make this next fight very easy. Shadowheart herself also can learn this spell. You can just go into the K menu, switch her prepared spells around, and make sure you have protection from good and evil, cast that on herself, and then your entire party has it, and nobody has to worry about the difficulty of the upcoming fight, fighting a bunch of skeletons. Both these should lead towards this big door that is locked. You're going to have to lockpick this one, and you're going to have to be successful. This is another reason why I wouldn't use the lockpicking tools earlier on, because you definitely need them to unlock this door, and you don't get very many lockpicking tools early in the game. After successfully lockpicking this door, you're going to come into a big ritual room that is full of skeletons. Now go around and loot each of the skeletons. These skeletons are going to have some gold, some spell scrolls, and some weapons. There is a door on the side of it that you can go into. This is going to give you a special quest book, as well as a couple of treasures from a chest. On the opposite side, the wall is collapsed into a waterway. If you hug to the right, you can find a lever that will lower down a ladder. This is going to give you access back up to the surface and an easy way to get back down to this crypt room without having to go through the entire crypt. And then in the back of this room is a button. So over here, if you press the button, all of those skeletons that you looted are going to revive. They're going to stand up and become hostile. If you looted them, they're not going to have any weapons, which makes this fight a lot easier. If you chose not to loot them, they're going to be fully wielded up, and it's going to be quite a bit harder of a fight. So be careful with that. Make sure to loot everything so that is a nice, easy encounter. Once you cleared up the set of skeletons, go back to the room beside the button. That'll have opened a door, and you can come into this nice little crypt room hidden in the back. There is a chest that's going to give you a neck that teaches you to speak with undead. This is a fantastic spell. Speak with dead is super useful, and there's all sorts of tips and tricks around it. We will talk about that in a future video. Other than that, there is the actual crypt itself, and when you talk to this, a very creepy looking skeleton man is going to float out of it, but if you recognize him from the start of the video, this is Withers. He is some kind of powerful undead creature. He is going to ask you some questions. I'd recommend avoiding the attack option and just going through the talking option because we are trying to unlock this character and we don't want to be attacking him. Once he's satisfied with your answers to some questions, he will disappear, and when you do your next long rest, he's going to show up in camp, and you've successfully unlocked Withers. Now that you've unlocked Withers, you're able to class change, you're able to hire hirelings, and you're able to resurrect fallen team members. Very useful set of skills, and a really cool ally to have in your camp. So I hope you guys enjoy having Withers. I'm Zesty Phresh from Games, and we'll catch you guys next time.